Coming here today to see the new collection of photographers that you've developed over the last year or two, even in the space of 12 months from last year, the quality of the work has doubled quite easily. Their approach to composition, their approach to colour management, and just generally having much more interesting ideas. This year they've excelled themselves, so it's been thrilling to see and very difficult to judge. This year I think the diversity of the judges is a little more interesting because we come from slightly different backgrounds, and with Venture being about family and being about character, it's really created a very interesting mix of conversation.
I found the judging experience at Venture today to be an exceptional experience. There is so much talent within Venture Group that it's been a pleasure to see so many great artists, great photographers out there.
So it's been a really interesting day because I'm coming from it from a slightly different viewpoint. I'm not a photographer. I've never been a photographer, but I've spent 20 years looking at and making images. And what I found fascinating about today is the breadth and a variety of talent. But the more we've looked and discussed at work, it's been interesting to see how some photographers' voice has come to the forefront more.
As a judge, what we look for in images is the creativity. We're looking for storytelling, we're looking for creativity, we're looking for impact, technical skills, all of these things that contribute to an excellent photograph. We're looking at how the author is communicating with the sitter, especially in something like the Venture Awards, because this is all part of the brand. So it's essential that we see that coming through.
In my line of work, we're a weekly magazine, we have to make quick edits to go to press, and I think that I sort of hone in on an image that really catches your eye, really stands out, and then you start breaking it down into the sort of the technical, the skill, the lighting, to get the final decision that we did. So a lot went in, and the other judges were coming in from different views, and I think so collectively we did it from you know, an image that pops out and feels good, the lighting, the technical side, so you know that it completely stood out as the winning image. What surprised me about the images is that, you know, with Venture photography, you have a very small period of time to get that relationship between your person, the subject, and to get those amazing the images that have feeling, but also the portraiture, you know, that eye contact that you're getting with someone who actually, in effect, is a stranger to you, but they've managed to get something out of you in a matter of 20, 30 minutes, I think is impressive.
It's really important that we have photos printed and put on display. It's really important that we don't lose our heritage. Digital, iPhone, smartphones, everything has changed the face of social photography, and we've lost the ability to appreciate a print, a piece of artwork which goes on a wall. How many people, when they walk through a room, into a house, into a home, do we see beautiful work up on the walls of their children, as couples? It's pretty rare. Everything's kind of very immediate and very digital. So it's so important that we don't lose the connection with print and frame. It's really, really important.
What's been interesting today is I think some of the strongest images are the ones that almost become works of art in themselves, irrespective of the client. So, as a father, you might want a picture of your children on the wall. But some of the stuff we've seen today is so beautifully done that actually as someone you don't even know that the children are involved, let's say, you would willingly have it on your wall because there's some textural qualities, there's some light, that the way it's been framed, and the colour is so beautiful. I mean, I think there's one standout image that we saw today that, for me, I would willingly hang that on the wall in my home without having ever met the child. So then it's transcended. It's become not just a documentation of a child, which is lovely for the family, but it's become a work of art, and that surely is what we're striving for.
I think the consistent thing that comes across, particularly with the selection this year, is that the spontaneity that comes across when the family gets together in front of a camera and they feel comfortable, the energy that comes out of that and the resulting image is just uplifting. And I think for me that's been quite a consistent and exciting thing to see, because not everybody likes to be in front of the camera, but we all like to see ourselves afterwards. So the fact that photographers can capture a particular moment as they have done shows how technically they're great, but also their ability to edit and to choose a moment that really expresses the family. I'd love to have a portrait made, most definitely.
As a creative, you're going to be judged, and so you should be judged, and you have to have the confidence to put yourself forward to be judged, because you mustn't have a fear of failure. If you have a fear of rejection, then you're going to limit yourself so much, but if you can put yourself forward for competitions such as this, sometimes you'll win, sometimes you won't. The large majority of the time, you won't win, because the standard is high, and different judges would choose different pieces. So to a certain degree it's a lottery, but it doesn't mean you're not good enough to have won, just that wasn't your moment. But don't be downhearted, do it again and keep going, because one day it will be your moment, and then you will learn from that, and from that you'll develop and you'll become better and better at what you do without that fear of failure. And don't fear, be brilliant, because the world right now, particularly in our climate now, we need people who are creating beautiful images, making the world more beautiful and more kind.